He called me a dinosaur, so I built the company that ended his career.
That sentence, thrown out casually by Brad Thompson, my wife's arrogant 38-year-old Wall Street boss, echoed in my head long after the laughter faded around the table. Technological dinosaur, he slapped me on the back like we were old buddies, mocking me in front of his entire department, my wife included. I stood there, a 56-year-old former senior aerospace engineer, reduced to a joke. Jennifer squeezed my hand under the table, our secret signal. Ignore him, let it go. But that night something in me hardened. I'd given nearly 3 decades of my life to building engineering systems so complex that Wall Street quants wouldn't understand them if they tried. Yet here I was, laid off in a mass purge of everyone over 50, being mocked by a man whose biggest achievement was figuring out how to talk fast while saying nothing. We drove home in our aging Volvo, the silence tight and heavy. He's insecure, Jennifer said. The board is pressuring him. Don't let it get to you, but it did get to me. It cut deeper than I wanted to admit. Because beneath Brad's cruelty was a kernel of truth. The world had changed and I hadn't kept up. That night, lying awake while Jennifer slept, I made a decision. I would not fade into irrelevance. I would reinvent myself so completely that the next time Brad heard my name, he would regret ever mocking me. The next morning, I started Python, machine learning, AI architecture, data science. I dove into courses, forums, and coding marathons. I studied harder at 56 than I ever had at 26. I drank more coffee in 4 months than I had in 4 years. I barely slept, barely ate. I lived inside my laptop, debugging until my eyes burned. The learning curve was brutal. I was slow. My brain wasn't as elastic as it used to be. Young programmers solved problems in minutes that took me hours, but I refused to quit. Every time frustration crept in, I heard Brad's voice. Technological dinosaur. That insult became my fuel. Jennifer worried. She found me coding at 3 hunched-over notebooks filled with calculations. But she also supported me when I needed it most, reminding me who I really was. I married a man who doesn't know how to give up, she whispered one night when I was breaking down over a stubborn bug. Little by little, I improved. And then one night, everything clicked. The algorithm I had been building, a multi-layered predictive system for financial markets, finally produced accurate results. Not just accurate, revolutionary, 30% better than industry-leading systems. I named it Atlas. I reached out to an old colleague, David Chen, now a partner at a major fintech VC firm. I showed him Atlas. He nearly fell out of his chair. 3 weeks after that pitch, Atlas Financial Intelligence was born. I hired brilliant programmers, yes, but also seasoned experts who'd been cast aside by ageist tech companies. A 58-year-old CTO, a 62-year-old quantum specialist. A team of so-called dinosaurs. We didn't roar, we built. Our first major licensing deal was with Goldman Sachs, then JP Morgan, then BlackRock. Soon, every major firm wanted Atlas, except one. Thompson Financial, Brad's empire, was collapsing. Their algorithms were outdated, their board demanded answers. Brad was firing employees to hide his mistakes. His company hired a consulting firm to investigate, and the recommendation was clear: license Atlas or be left behind. And so, Brad Thompson did the one thing he never imagined he'd have to do. He requested a meeting with Atlas Financial Intelligence, having no idea I was the founder. When he and his CTO arrived at our sleek conference room, he tried to act superior. Then Jennifer and I walked into the room. Brad froze mid-sentence. "Michael, what are you doing here?" I sat at the head of the table. "Mr. Thompson, welcome to Atlas. I believe we're discussing whether your company is worthy of using our technology." His jaw dropped. Jennifer hid her smile. When I told him we evaluate partners for cultural alignment, including respect for experience regardless of age, the color drained from his face. "So you're rejecting us because of personal feelings?" He sputtered. "Not personal," I said. "Professional. Your dismissive attitude towards seasoned talent poses a risk." Then I reminded him of his words. "After all, you wouldn't want a technological dinosaur overseeing your project, would you?" Silence. His CTO nearly choked, trying not to laugh. Brad's apology was stiff and forced, but it wasn't enough. I insisted on one condition as part of the agreement. I would serve as technical advisor to his board for the first year. Translation: I would oversee him, sit in his meetings, judge his decisions. He had no choice. The next year was beautiful. Brad attended every diversity and age-bias training. He listened. He changed. Slowly, but undeniably. Jennifer was eventually promoted above him. Atlas skyrocketed and our valuation hit $2 billion. I stood on the balcony of the NYSE with my wife's hand in mine as Brad clapped from the crowd below. Defeated, humbled, respectful, 5 years later. At a Harvard event, Brad approached me. "You proved me wrong, Michael," he said quietly. "And I'm grateful you did." For the first time, I believed him. "Sometimes," I replied. "Dinosaurs survive because they know the terrain better than the ones who mock them. And when I tell my story today, I end with this: the dinosaurs ruled the earth for 165 million years. If someone calls you one, take it as a compliment. It means you have staying power. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more.